welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you're a subscriber, and if you're not a subscriber, my name is Ben Haddon. I played professional golf for 4.5 years, shot some good scores, won a couple pro-ams, never really felt like I reached my full potential, and got burnt out about a year ago and decided to take a year off to do some content stuff, which is what you're watching right now. I decided I want to get back into professional golf, and in that quest to get my game back in shape, driving is one of those things that is so important. So when the commish came to me asking me to do a clinic for this charity scramble he was running, driving has been on the forefront of my mind, so I decided I was going to talk about what makes people better drivers that you might not know intuitively. These are just some general principles on how to improve your driving stats that I picked up from my work with Scott Fawcett for Decade. Scott is legitimately maybe the smartest person I've ever met in my life. The Decade system is essentially just a brain dump of everything he has learned about golf through analyzing every shot length statistic and putting together basically just all the information he's ever picked up about the game. If you want to improve your game, Decade is guaranteed to lower your scores. I have a promo code with it in the description, as long as a link to where you can buy. I'd highly recommend it, honestly, like even if I wasn't getting paid. As a matter of fact, I haven't been getting paid to promote this program for years, but I've still been promoting it because it's that good. Go check it out. And without further delay, let's get into this little clinic on how to improve your driving statistics. I'm sure you've all heard, drive for show, putt for dough. Has anybody heard that? Can anybody here name the #1 PGA Tour player strokes gained putting? If anybody can name the #1 PGA Tour player strokes gained putting, Scheffler?
Yeah, McCarthy.
I guarantee you nobody's gonna get it. His name is Taylor Montgomery. The reason I bring that up is because putting actually doesn't matter that much. It's mostly about driving when it comes to gaining strokes, especially at the highest level. Before we get too far into the video, I wanna give a quick definition of what strokes gained is. From any position on the golf course, there is an average number of strokes that a PGA Tour player will take to get into the hole. From that position, after you hit a shot, your stroke value changes. If it changes more than 1 stroke, then you have gained strokes in the field. If it changes less than 1 stroke, you have lost strokes in the field. Usually it's tracked in decimals, and what we're talking about today is off the tee, which means that we want to hit the ball farther, straighter, and in the fairway more often. And if you want to be better consistently over a long period of time, being able to drive the ball more consistently, better, longer, straighter, is what's going to lower your scores in the long run. Obviously, making a bunch of 30-footers is great. The reality is nobody can do that every day, not even PGA Tour players. 30-footer is what, a 3% putt? So the best players in the world are making less than 1 out of 20 30-footers. That's less than 1 around. You're much better off being able to drive it better, and it might not be as simple as you think to drive it better, so we're gonna talk about a few ways to do that. First thing we need to consider is that hitting it in play with the driver, if you can do it every single time, I know everybody here, if they could hit it in play every time with a driver, would hit driver every time, no? Except if there's let's say number 10 right here, there's a creek to lay short of, that's 10, no?
Yeah.
If there's a creek to lay short of on 10, probably don't want to hit driver. Or if you're a cutter of the ball and you want to draw it, you probably don't want to hit driver because, as we're going to talk about in a second, you want to focus on one shot shape, okay? So first thing is going to be hit driver more often. And if you're somebody who pulls out driver and you know you're going to have the 90 degrees or the 45s, let's work on that and then get back to hitting more drives. Hitting more drivers is the simplest way to improve your driving stats because you're just going to get the ball further down there. I know I see a lot of people grabbing 3-wood, 5-wood, 4-iron so they can put it in the fairway. If you're in the fairway 50 yards back, it's actually not as beneficial as you might think, especially because you're probably going to hit it in the rough with that 4-iron anyway. You might as well be a little bit farther down there with the driver. So if you're somebody who struggles with putting the ball in play more consistently, second thing I'd say is let's work on one shot shape. See too many people trying to hit draws and fades with the driver. The driver is a really hard club to work both ways, especially because you can't really manipulate ball position. So if you're able to hit a draw with the driver consistently, do that every time. Pretty much every single time I hit a driver, I'm going to be starting it left and working it right. And if I need to hit a fade, or if I need to hit a draw, this is not the club for me. The way to make sure that your shot shape is consistent is with a consistent path and club face angle. So just a really easy way to visualize that is stand behind the ball, pick a point between you and the target. If you want to hit a cut, pick a point 1 inch to the left of that intermediate target. If you want to hit a draw, pick a point 1 inch to the right. Attempt to swing down that line. That's just a really quick feel that will help you consistently hit the same flight over and over again. Not gonna talk too much about swing mechanics, especially because you guys are getting ready to go and break the course record out here at Falcon Ridge. So we wanna keep you sharp. But if you feel a consistent path, meaning like it doesn't even have to be consistent in terms of degrees, just consistently out to in or consistently in to out, whatever you're comfortable with a manageable face, just try to be an athlete, I guess would be the #1 thing I'd suggest. So We call that a miss hit. A little necky, a little low in the face, but that's cutting every time. If I'm dead middling it every time, but I don't know if it's going left or right, I'm not gonna score halfway as well as if I'm hitting it all over the face, but I know where it's going. So consistent shot shape with the driver. Let's say you're a cutter with the driver and you step up to a hole where there's absolutely no way you can hit a cut. Instead of hitting a draw with the driver, we're gonna drop back one club. Really easy way to hit a draw. Move your ball position back about one ball, okay? So let's say this is a fade shot shape. If you move your ball position back about that far and keep your face square to the target line, it's gonna naturally shift your path a little bit from in to out, and you're gonna hit a draw more consistently that way. So don't try to change your swing. We're just trying to make the same swing over and over again. We already know you can't do that when you're trying to do it. So don't try to change your swing every time. You're just gonna be, it's a fool's errand, essentially. So make the same swing, but move that ball just a little bit back in your stance. Same swing, slightly shut face, with a path that's naturally moved more in to out. And see that, Drew? We're gonna try to get one off the ground this time. It's windy, I'm just naturally trying to hit stingers right now. So if I need to hit a draw, that club's staying in the bag, 100%. Strategically, hit driver as much as you can, work it one way. If you need to work it the other way, grab one club less, probably a 3-wood. If you have a mini driver, that's actually the best possible option. I know you have that mini driver. And as far as driving goes, I think that's, what's that?
So if you want to hit a fade, let's say your normal drawer of the ball, then
Yep.
you move it forward?
Yeah, if you want to hit a fade, you move it forward in your stance. Most people with modern equipment are hitting fades just about every time with the driver, at least at higher levels. And if you are a drawer of the ball and you want to hit a fade, yes, move it forward a little bit in your stance. Your path will be naturally shifted in to out. You're gonna hit a little bit more of a fade. It's also probably gonna go a little bit higher since it's farther up in your stance. I don't know, I feel like that pretty much covers it.
You might know. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
It's like Dan. Thank you very much.
Thank you guys again for watching that video. And thank you to the commish for having me out to his tournament to do a little clinic. I didn't really feel like I was teaching people how to play golf. It doesn't feel like I'm teaching you how to play golf. It feels like I'm just reminding myself of all the things that I learned back when I was trying to be the best player I could be and trying to relearn what it's like to be a high-level player. So if you guys want to continue seeing content like that, I'm going to continue to learn stuff about golf. I'm going to continue to remember stuff about golf. It's honestly beneficial for me to make this type of content because it solidifies all that stuff in my brain. So if you want to continue seeing stuff like that, make sure to subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a lot. Also, if you want one of these hats, it's going to be on the website. Link is down below. Decades where I get most of this info from. Link and promo code is down below for that as well. We're also going to have it on the screen right here. We'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.